How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Esports Podcast. My name and host is John the Kid Snipes. I'm here today with my co-hosts and friends, Jacob, Funky Town Funksters Funk. How's it
Gang,
going,
gang, what's up? What's up?
Jacob? Moving on, Nate, the Zen Schmitty,
Hey, what's up?
The Zan Man.
and and then last but not least, the duo since Call of Duty Ghost, Nate fears Wolf. How's it going, Nate?
What's good? What's good?
So, this is our first installment of the podcast. I brought together a couple of my friends that I know extremely well. Like I said, me and Nate Wolf have been playing since what? God Ghost, Nate?
Yeah, and then when Coast got born for us, we jumped back to Black Ops 2, so we played a bunch of titles together.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, IW was probably our most memorable.
Hey,
Who's-
IW.
Liddy,
We always
Liddy.
had that dream of going pro one day, John.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're 18 coming up soon, so that's nice. Hopefully, Call of Duty comes back onto Xbox, but we'll get into that when we get over to Call of Duty. And then I've known Funk for a long time through
Since 8th
school.
grade, homie.
So yeah, it's been a minute. Known him for a long time. We've played a bit of hockey together. Same thing with Nate. I've known Nate a bit longer. Nate Schmitt. Known him a bit longer just because of hockey and stuff. But Nate's kind of our NALCS champ over here. He knows everything there is to know about League of Legends. So
The dude will
That's-
shit on you in a 1v1, 5v5. He'll carry his whole team. Like, it's dumb.
Yeah?
It's honestly
absolutely
dumb.
It's unreal. He. There's times where like I'm playing League with him and I'm like completely lost, and he just shows me what's up. Yeah, really, absolutely. So
Like,
he's
on
amazing.
God,
So that's
if
why
he
he's
wants to, he'll just take over a whole game.
for sure. He really could. He's
Yeah.
definitely a game changer. He's definitely a game changer.
TSM,
But-
pick me up.
Oh, he called out.
Send him the contract now.
Even if I'm a
Optic,
sub,
they're
dude,
You won't
Talk to-
lose another game.
hit me up.
They're 0-3 right now. Talk to Optic, dude.
My
But,
my email will be in the description.
Dang, dude. Called it out. We're gonna have
I
to
got the plugs in there.
Yeah, for sure. Gotta hit shameless plug.
Shameless.
So, kind of what we're going to be talking about in this podcast is basically all things esports. This week, because we didn't get to tune in to any of the Overwatch stuff, we will try to get into a lot of that. I know there's a lot of Overwatch viewers out there that don't really have a podcast. Funk loves Overwatch, so that'll kind of be his thing to kind of lead a lot. I've seen Funk play some Overwatch. He's actually really good, so
Thank you.
he'll be able to lead that. And then, CSGO, they kind of have their own podcast that they do, but I'm down to add that in there. I know a lot of us like to watch CSGO, especially because it's just it's so close to Call of Duty. All of us have teamed on COD, specifically IW, so we're really knowledgeable about the game. We all play COD, World War II, so that's going to be an easy one for us. And like I said, I have Nate.
We're a god team. We never lost.
Yeah, we
That's-
never lose. What you mean?
That's an awesome My man's Funk going 0-5. I had to scream at him every game, but it's cool.
Okay.
All right, because
We dicked on
you know
Alex
what?
Novak's team. That's all that matters.
We did. Just,
Oh, bro,
Destroy-
the shots. The shots.
so do we want to go into that? Like, what happened? Wolf wasn't exactly in this. It was a 3v3. So,
Bro, it was basically a 2v3 because of my internet.
yeah, really. So, we
I
were
was-
basically landing, right? Like, we were at Schmidt's house landing.
Yeah.
And, Funk, you got a text message, right, from Alex Novak.
Yeah.
Put that one in.
He just goes, "You play COD?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "You on a team?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, bet. Me and my two other friends have a team. We've been playing MLGs and UMGs." And I'm like, "All right, bet. You trying to get your ass
Trying to
kicked?
get the hands.
Trying to catch these hands, bro?"
Yeah.
He just goes, "Bet." And I was like, "Dude, you seriously don't want this. Like,
Yeah,
we will
really.
destroy you."
So, we
And-
basically we ended up after, like, an hour of waiting and us, like, warming up. At this at Schmidt's house, we're all just sitting there, and finally we pulled the trigger. They didn't have any classes set, so we we had to wait for them to make classes, and the next thing you know, we're in a game, and Funk had a connection issue, and we were still me and Schmitt were able to pull off the win.
Oh man, I almost had 3
Pretty
aces.
convincingly.
In the
Yeah,
S&D.
yeah, yes indeed. Yeah, you almost had like 3. You had 2 for sure.
Oh
The
my
third one
god,
was-
he had 2 aces in a
I was
match.
11
That
and
was
2 in the
insane.
S&D. I was just get off me. Like get off of me.
Hardpoint. What did I drop? Like 40 kills, something
Yeah,
around there.
okay.
Yeah,
Just-
it was
just couldn't
dumb.
handle it.
It was
3v3.
easy.
That's so that was nice. I told him to send the chat.
Send the chow.
Chow.
So much smack talk. It was good. So.
Anybody want to send the chow to us? It's $50
Send
minimum.
oh no, please no.
1v1 league
Let-
chows, Call of Duty chows.
No.
Yeah, I'll do 1v1 league chows for money.
Man.
Yeah, you want 1v1 league chows with Nate? $1,300 minimum to compete against him.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Minimum.
Okay.
Like, you can't. We're big
Sorry.
ballers out here.
Yeah,
We're big
really.
ballers.
Yeah, we're trying to get racks. I need to afford a rollie, you know. My
Those
Xanax and
bitches are
Adderall
like 10
addiction
bands.
Well,
Oh my god.
too. I'm just
We
kidding.
can't put that on there.
I'm just
We can't
kidding,
put
bro.
that.
well,
God, did you
while
hear that?
on the topic
No one heard
of
anything, bro.
in general, let's hop into our first discussion, boys. We're gonna be talking about Call of Duty. I wanted to talk about their patches that they've made recently. Talk about the CWL. Just a couple bullet points I wanted to discuss. But we'll start off with the game in general. First looks. The game's been out for 2.5 months now. We're gonna start off with Fear over here because he hasn't gotten much in. What are you thinking about the game so far?
I really love the game. I enjoy playing it a lot, but there's a lot of like little fixes they do, and if they fix those, I think this could be great COD for the rest of the year.
Sure. I think in general, I think we can all agree that the game's a really good game. But the issue is like there's so many small issues in the game, like the new division that they put in, which is
That's
just
so
obnoxious.
It's so dumb.
It kind of ruins the game to an extent.
They should try and balance out the weapons first.
The
Oh yeah,
weapons and
I'd
some
like to
good
see a
maps.
weapon balance. I'd
Some
like to
more
see like
good
a new
maps.
another.
More-
set
Yeah,
of
more
some-
maps,
Need
bro.
I mean,
maps.
how many maps are there on this COD? Hold on, I have
There's
it
There's
up.
like
maps.
9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Half
6,
of the
7,
maps
8.
are unplayable
yeah,
too.
9. Yeah, really. Like,
Especially for they don't even
Off
outspawn on a couple of the maps.
yeah.
And it's basically like the same like 4 maps in rotation. It's Gibraltar,
Yeah, they don't even
The
outspawn
forest
on that
map,
one, dude. Hardpoint on that map. is
USS
fucking cancer.
Texas, and Flag Tower used to be in there. but
So I
haven't played
don't
Flag Tower
know
in a
if you
while.
guys played AW competitively, but I know me and Wolf did.
No, I didn't have
Would
it.
Would
I
you
didn't. Yeah.
DLC maps being incompetitive? Like AW, they brought in DLC.
Kind
Mm,
of paid
I don't-
away.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know how I feel about that, but like I think now
They should make
They
it
have
so
to
you can
do-
play that map.
they have to do
without buying
they
it.
have to do something because of the way the maps are played. Like I
For
don't
sure.
think I think they need
they
to
should
add.
make a.
There should be more than 3 search and destroy maps, more than
Yeah.
3 capture flag maps, more than 4 hardpoint maps. That's just like I guess
I
they
think
can't, they kept it
There's
small.
actually 4 S&D maps. There is 4. When you're watching the CWL, they're picking bands and stuff. There is 4, but there's only 3
Oh,
CWLs.
Yeah, but do you really think that Saint Marie Dumont's a playable search and destroy map?
I mean, I just
That's like first ban every time.
yeah.
Every time I watch a league, it's first ban. So I
Sure.
don't think any team's played that in the league yet.
I mean, it's like Gibraltar, right? Like Gibraltar is the same way for hardpoint. A lot of teams ban Gibraltar, except for Optic. But normally teams ban Gibraltar because it's such an easy map to lose yourself. You know, you
Yeah.
can really lose your spawn so quickly. I think that the thing with DLC maps being put into rotation is everybody has to be able to have the money to pay for these DLC maps, or else if you're playing GBs or UMG and you don't have these, then that's an automatic loss for your team.
Here's what I think. I think they should put in a separate playlist for like comp matches.
So, for like the DLC maps, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
I
Like
think that
just
would be
use it for
sweet.
comp.
That'd
That would be
sweet.
nice.
I would agree with that. This way, the people who don't have those, they can still play the old ones that were, but they don't have to buy the DLCs because, to be honest with you, I don't remember the last DLC I bought. I think it was AW because I had to.
Mine was Black Ops 3. Like,
Black Ops 3. Didn't buy it. That's
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can't. Because what are you gonna do in ranked play? That's right. I mean, that's true. Because
Yeah.
they did this awesome thing with this game where they put ranked play in so you can play it, and play competitively even though you're not playing UMGs. But what's the point in adding those DLC maps then? Because you have to have them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard. That's like a hard decision. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That they have done silent fixes, I think, to the map itself. I don't know if you guys have noticed while playing, but it's really hard to shoot people through the walls now. But
have
it's
not
not been in
played
their
it
patch
recently.
notes. It has not been in their patch notes.
So while
Which
we're
is-
on this topic of ranked play, let's talk about how broken ranked play is, though.
Okay, what do you mean? Like
Uh,
elaborate with it.
So like, when you're playing a 4v4, and then all of a sudden things start going south, your teammates aren't rotating, you're getting beat 150 to 58, and you're trying to come back, then your entire team leaves. I don't think that should hurt you as much as it does. Like playing a 3v4, you have no chance to win. Or like people just leave after like the first 3 minutes of the game. That's just dumb. Like you're gonna
Yeah.
lose so
you know
much.
what they did in
they're-
League of Legends? If someone leaves, you just get a loss prevent. You don't get any points taken
Exactly.
away. And it's just
But
as if it never
the
happened.
thing is with the exploit that's out right now, right? Where you can play with 4 people. If you're losing a game severely with those 4 people, then just say, hey, somebody leaves so we don't lose points. You know what I mean? So it's like there's pluses and minuses to it. I'm kind of being the devil's advocate here.
Well, the
but-
No, I
person that
see it.
leaves is going to be losing points.
That's true. He loses 50 and gets couple minute ban. I just feel like
Yeah.
I agree with Nate at the same time though. It does seem like they punish the players for staying in the game. There's no like report system in the game. I know like League, if I'm not mistaken, you can report somebody for going
Yeah,
AFK or leaving.
automated
Yeah,
system too.
exactly. So like why isn't that in the game? I know it's kind of hard because the game's only out for a year and you want to like push out your
And it's
DLCs and
different
your
developers,
supply drops.
so it's their servers that it's running on. League, it's just
Yeah.
consistent. Like every year, it's a different person making the Call of Duty.
So, fun fact, kind of off topic, just gonna kind of bring it back, kind of why I'm bringing it to you in general. You'll see in a second, but Fortnite, a game that holds 100 players, right? Battle Royale game, the only Xbox game to hold 100 players on a single server and in a single game, runs perfectly fine, right? They helped
Time out.
make. Go ahead.
I don't know if it runs perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm
No,
gonna
I'm
take I'm
getting
gonna
there.
take the time out here right now because this new update, the game has been broken. Like
That's
I've
what I'm
ex-
getting to. That's what I'm getting
Okay,
to.
okay.
The lag.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'll bring it through. So anyway, so the Fortnite makers, they helped make League of Legends. I don't know about you, but I've never experienced lag on League of Legends, anything due to my own personal PC when I had my old computer and I was having issues. But there's no lag on Fortnite. And that's where I'm bringing this to now is I feel like at some times when you're playing Call of Duty, you are seeing lag when you are green barring, right? You have that green
Yeah.
bar, you have
Yeah.
3 game, and you do experience lag. So why does a game that is in its beta stage, Fortnite, have so much lag? It has no lag compared to a game like Call of Duty that makes a game every year. Activision supports it. They put their servers into it. What's the issue? I don't understand.
Could just be this could be
Shitty
part of it. Could just
development.
be PC connection versus console connection. Because
That's true.
Is Fortnite on the console lag free?
Fortnite's on the console. No, yeah, Fortnite on the
Oh,
console.
okay.
I think the only time I lag, and this is just because of like the new patch, is like when I pick up a weapon newly, right? You don't pull it out like until like a couple seconds later. It takes a second.
There's definitely
Well-
something wrong then because Fortnite 100 people are in one match. Call of Duty it's only 10.
See, that's my
Yeah.
point. So where is Activision's money going?
Yeah, they
Their
need to They need to work on. I don't think so much their pockets. I
They're
think they
almost
put
as
a
bad
lot
as
of
EA.
of money into the game, but like
Don't
they
even
don't.
start about
But they're
EA.
they're kind of like cheap. They don't want to put too much money into it. So I feel like if they put a little bit more money into like the connection based, instead of making it like like now like when you play GBs, which they did for the pro players, which is nice. They have a dedicated server. So usually,
yeah,
so usually, yes, usually you don't lag on the dedicated server. But like at the same time, you got people that are West Coast on a dedicated server for the East Coast, and it's just not going to work very good for anybody. So you need like a West Coast dedicated server and an East Coast dedicated server.
Pick like a region that you're in.
So I feel like you can pick like a region where you're at on like the account, and like you can meet in the middle. So say like Optics in Texas and somebody else is in Ohio. You know what I mean? Meet somewhere in the middle. That way it's not so one-sided.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know if MLG has the
I don't think they have the right
money.
Yeah,
But
the right
to be honest with
stuff to
you,
do that.
though, I mean, speaking from a competitive player's standpoint, I could be wrong, but I feel like competitive really runs the game. It seems like I feel like I'm finding ranked play games faster than I'm finding public match games. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
feel like
like,
more
I
people
feel
are
that
like
too.
dedicated towards the ranked play, more dedicated towards competitive. So it's almost a no-brainer
You
to
could almost
us
blame
as
the game
competitive
itself,
players.
though, for having a lot of bullshit in it.
That's completely true. I mean, supply drops
You
going
get
off
sick
of
of
that.
pubs after shotguns.
Yeah, shotguns, snipers are still broken, and apparently
Especially
they fixed
in the new division.
The
car.
range of
Especially
the
the new
shotguns is
division.
broken.
Oh
New
god,
division is just doesn't even make me want to play pubs sometimes.
absolutely. I mean, so for those of you guys who don't know, the new division's perks is the pistol tactical knife, which isn't that big a deal because an easy way to combat that is run
The
infantry.
lunge.
Yeah,
But
that's the
lunge,
only
though.
issue, but the infantry lunge is the exact same. In fact, you get a
That's just a
bayonet
minor
charge
part.
with
That's
it.
not a big deal.
So it's not that big a
It's
deal.
more about the jammers.
But exactly, so it's the scramble nearby enemy minimaps, and that to me is frustrating because as coming from Halo, I rely on my minimap a lot. I don't know how you guys play,
Yeah, no, mini-map,
but
dude. Everyone relies on that shit.
that's what I'm saying. If you're I don't want to say halfway decent, but there's no other way to beat around the bush with that. If you're kind of decent at the game, you're paying attention to that radar 95% of the time because you want to know where people are. You want to know where your team is, where they're spawning. So if your minimap's jammed, at least then you know somebody's by you, but still. And then the next one's additional pistol attachment. That's not really too big of an issue, and you swap your weapons faster, which is just sleight of hand. There's already a perk for that. And then minimap indicator in the direction of
that one's
close
really
hostiles. That's the dumb one.
Wasn't that in IW as
Six-
a perk?
No, not
Black
yeah,
Ops 3?
maybe. It was
Wasn't one of
both, I
them?
think. I think IW's wasn't as good as Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 had Sixth Sense, and it showed up yellow
It's just the
on which
fact that
way
you're
he
getting the
was.
jammer and the indicators together, if you have it maxed,
Yeah.
is just kind of broken.
Just
That's
seems
kind of
OP.
retarded.
And if you're a camper with a shotgun or anything like that, it's just retarded.
For sure. I think it's definitely dumb and kind of broken in the same standpoint. I mean, that's just I don't know. I don't know how what they were thinking when they put that one in.
Like,
But they weren't
it's
thinking
definitely
about
not
the
going to be
players.
in competitive. It's not going to be
No,
allowed.
No, yeah, no.
So they're thinking the balance team or whoever implements this shit. They're like, is this going to benefit the game?
Well,
Like,
no.
what were they
so
thinking?
what
How is that
happened
going to
was
benefit the game?
what happened was this Call of Duty release was so big because it's going back to boots on the ground, right? Everybody wants to
Yeah.
play it. It's so big, so everybody buys this game. The first week it comes out, there's like all these issues and stuff, but it's a good game, right? But there's still all these issues, so everybody's like, well, this game's blown up. So Fortnite, they came out with that new map. So Call of Duty wanted to try to match it to get players back, so they came out with a new division. But what happened is that division actually made the game worse than what it was. I feel like I feel like they're competing with one another right now because Call of Duty's hurting because everybody's going away from it because the spawns were messed up, shotguns and snipers are dumb, the maps aren't very good.
And Boots got a lot of hype, and it's just Boots.
Yeah, it got a lot of hype.
It's just
it's not living
nostalgia
up
that
to
brought
what it
people
was.
back to wanting to play Boots, and Boots isn't really
Right.
that special.
Right.
It's just headies
Exactly.
everywhere.
And
So
people have more fun playing like competitive, like not like competitive, but like Fortnite because it is competitive. Like people would rather play with 4 people on that than get on and play this game because they can have fun on that game. They can't have fun on this game anymore.
I agree 100% with him.
yeah, I mean, it's
I mean,
a hard decision.
I'm speaking based on because that's what happened to me. Like, I just really really enjoyed Fortnite. That like, why would I play Call of Duty when I'm having so much fun on this game?
For sure.
But like, I came back to Call of Duty today, and I truly like miss it. Like, I miss the way I used to play it, just because like the way it is. But like, I feel like they need to do something to bring people back, and that new perk or whatever it was not what needed to be brought.
For sure. I can agree. I mean,
How about the new guns? Has anyone gotten any of
so
them yet?
so yeah, I have the Orso, and I have the challenge right now to get the Volks, Gewer, whatever the heck it is. I've picked up the new AR. It rips. It for sure rips. It's kind of unbalanced, just like any new weapons. I mean, I played Paladins, and anytime there was a new character, it seemed unbalanced. You got to give them a week or two to decide to themselves, okay, this gun's. But at the same time, you hope that they decide that, but you know, this company Sledgehammer, right? That's who made the game. I'm just making sure I'm correct now because I could have messed that up. Sledgehammer, they they decided that they weren't gonna get rid of the issues with shotguns and snipers, and it makes you wonder to yourself, well, if they won't fix those, is anything safe? If the most OP weapons and things like that in the game aren't safe, or like that they are safe, they won't touch those. What else? What are they gonna touch then?
Why won't they even touch them? It just doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah,
will
I
they just
don't.
come out with a game every year and just try and wring out all the cash and not fix most of the things that need fixed? Because they
Well, I
just know
mean,
they're going to
doesn't it
release
seem
another
like
one
that
in a
with
year?
supply drops? Doesn't it seem like that in supply drops?
Like, what
I
if they
mean,
just release a Call of Duty every 2 years and actually put time in? Like, a lot of time.
That I like that because
so like Halo.
we can argue that. I was gonna go there, John. We can go Halo. That game has been out for damn near 2 years. So like, that game is still being played competitively, and nobody has a problem with it. They legit don't
Sure.
change anything up. They keep it the same. Everybody just wants to grind the game because it's fun to those players and they enjoy it, and it hasn't changed. Like, each week, I feel like Call of Duty, there's a new meta. Like, if they kept the meta the same, teams could actually grind. Teams would actually know who's the best team in the game,
It's just
and
random.
would
And
have to. Yeah, there's
who's good.
I've watched both events so far, and like, Optic didn't place very well, which is what everybody likes. Like, everybody likes watching them because they're fun. They got the 4 best Call of Duty players in the world. But like, the meta changed from the first tournament to the second tournament, and now they found the new meta. So now they're striving in the Pro League. They didn't find that new meta until after New Orleans.
I agree. I mean, it goes back to IW, right? IW, they're what, the second tournament that they played. Nobody was using the OSA. Then
Yeah.
randomly, I mean, teams like TK, Envy, Optic, big teams like that, Red Reserve, they all got knocked out pretty early in that tournament. United ended up winning it because it's like nobody realized that the OSA was good until you get to like the teams who are actually good at the game. And the next thing you know, you're getting destroyed by OSAs, ERADs. They change things. One thing that League of Legends does really well is they wait to release the patch to the pro players and give them a week to learn the new meta.
They actually inform the players. I feel like a lot of Call of Duty's patches are kind of like sleeper. Like, they don't.
Yep.
Like, it's on League's front page every time you log in the game. And
Yeah.
Call of Duty just had like a thing that popped up. Like, oh, we changed this. It's like half the time I just log on, I'm like, yo, why is everyone using this gun? What the fuck happened?
Yeah, I mean, what? So that's like almost every game, right? Fortnite does it, Paladins does it, League
Yeah,
of
like
Legends
Like, why
does
is
it.
Call of Duty
Fortnite-
so quiet about
Fortnite's the
patches?
front. As soon as you get on Fortnite, it literally tells you what's coming next and like what just came out.
It makes you
Yeah.
think, are they even like fixing like that many things? Are they just like doing whatever the hell they want?
Yeah, like are they just
agree.
BSing?
They're hiding
Like
like
maybe.
the patch notes and just like not changing much.
Yeah, are they like we actually didn't fix it at all, but we're gonna say we did to try to make the players happy? Because like that update that came out a few weeks ago, they tried to patch the
Car.
FG42 and the car. They tried to patch both those. Both those guns today are still two of the best guns in the game, and they tried to fix them both. Like
Yeah.
they said they did something to FG, but it's still a 3-shot kill the way it was before the patch.
Yeah.
So like, are they even giving us like something to like even believe they're patching stuff, or are they just saying it just to say it? That way, people are trying to become like happy again with the game.
And it kind of
mean-
trickles down because pro players like, even if they say they changed the guns, and the guns are still that good, like you never know if they actually changed them, and then the pro players are trying out different guns, and because
Right.
people are watching them using those guns, they're gonna use them. They're
Right.
gonna try them.
So this
For
brings
sure.
me back. This brings me back to like we're still on this competitive base. So let's go back to IW. You knew there was 4 to 5 set guns in that game. You had the Envy, you had the K-Bar, you had the E-Rad, and then you had the Sniper, and then you could go with whatever else you would want. But you knew there was consistent guns in that game. Everybody was going to use it. None of the guns were changing. The meta was the same all year long.
It was a good game. I love those guns.
I mean, the
And
ERAD
then-
kind of showed up a little bit later, but yeah, I agree. I mean, it was always the same guns, same snipers.
You can
Same
go the
everything.
same
and the
same
guns
thing
are
in
solid. These guns are so random in like this game.
Yeah.
Same thing in Advanced Warfare. They first term was bow on bow. They didn't like that. They added the ASM1. Then it was bow ASM1 balance. They balanced the
Yep.
AR and the submachine gun. That game was good. That was a good game. We'll go back to Black Ops 3. That game was good too because they had 2 subs, 2 ARs you could use. I mean, you can go back and then you come to this Call of Duty and there's legit. You can use the FG. That's really it, or the bar. And then the PP. You have 3 guns. You have 2 ARs that are overpowered compared to the subs. You need to add either another sub or fix one of the ARs so there's 1 AR, 1 sub.
Yeah. I mean, there's times that I feel like sometimes that I'm getting melted from a PP across map. And I'm not saying I
Right.
have the best shot out here, but I am
But-
saying that there is times when, like London Docks, for instance, they can be all the way back fire and melting me from, all the way on the other side of the dock.
Right. I
Yeah.
feel
With a
that.
PP.
And then you try to do it and like
You'll have an AR,
You feel
so
like-
you can have a range and shit, but like it just doesn't help.
Yeah,
You're
I
just gonna
feel-
get melted.
I feel like I get melted up close 2 to 3 shots by the PP. But when I hit 2 to 3 shots, they're not even like weak. It's like weird.
The
It is.
damage
Like, I just-
consistent.
the thing I don't
Guns aren't
Yeah,
understand-
the guns are so inconsistent.
Because it's like a 5-shot kill for the STG, but it's only like a 3-shot for the bar and the FG.
There's times where I feel like I
Like,
got 4
why?
or 5 shots with the PP, and I'm like, why aren't they dead?
Oh,
I feel
I've
that too.
This happens all the time.
So let's talk, John. Let's talk to his health regen because they said they fixed that. Have you?
They did
noticed?
fix it. I have noticed.
Okay,
I do have to
okay.
say that is probably the best patch to date that they have made is balancing that health regen. It's like a 2-3 second difference, and when you're a competitive player and you're keeping high pace, especially in hardpoint or CTF, respawns mostly where you're holding down a position and you get shot a couple times, you have to regen, but you still want to hold that headshot or the head glitch. You regen a lot quicker, I do have to say, and it does open up the map a lot better, and it does create faster play. But with that said, they did this patch the day of CWL Pro League, week 1, and it was implemented that day. So all these pro players that are so used to how the game is supposed to be played are now like, why am I regenning so quick?
Yeah,
Why
they're
does
not
the
giving
car
it time
suck?
to get used to it.
Yeah. So like you're used to shooting somebody 2 to 3 times, and then they're running around the corner and like hiding. You're used to them hitting them one more time, they're dead. Instead, you have to rechow again,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and you're just like caught off guard by it.
For sure. And it once again, from a pro player standpoint, I mean, when I played Paladins, competitively, before this game came out, I mean, it was nice knowing, a week ahead, a week ahead that what the patches were. I think they should do what Paladins did, because console is kind of primary on Paladins, it seems like. They put everything onto either PlayStation or PC first, because Xbox was like basically the main. And then like 2 weeks before, right? They did that patch, and then they waited a week before they were supposed to put it back onto the Xbox, and then they fixed the issues that were in the patch notes, and then put the new, edited patch that they originally put out. They edited it, put that on the Xbox, and then next thing you know, you don't have all the issues that all these PC guys and all the PS4 guys were complaining about because they fixed it. Why don't you do that with COD, right? Because COD seems to be main on PlayStation. So although it might suck, send it to Xbox or send it to PC first. Have us basically beta test these patch notes and give them feedback, and then that way the CWL Pro League isn't struggling, and they already know what the patch looks like because all
That's
these
smart.
other
What's
consoles
wrong
already
with
have.
having like a queue? You could be a tester, like a queue for just testing the new stuff before they
So,
release it to the main public, like in the game.
so what they do is, there's nothing wrong with that. But what they do is before the game comes out, 2 weeks before,
Oh,
when
yeah, no,
there's
I know that,
basically
but
not
like
much
during
you
the
can
game,
do.
like the new patch notes.
Well, no, I'm not even talking about the beta in general. I'm talking about they fly these YouTubers out. No offense to some of these big YouTubers, but they fly them out, and they're not flying out the competitive players who play the game 8,
Right.
9, 10 hours a
Yeah,
day.
you
They're
know what it
scrimming,
is?
they're playing. But why don't you send those people out?
You know what they're
Because they're the
doing?
ones that get
They're
the feedback.
balancing the game around the normal, common people, because that's where most of the money is. They don't want to
But
upset like their main population that's going to be buying the game.
and I mean
And it's
that's
hard to
cool. But
balance it
when
around
you look at
both.
ranked, everybody's unranked. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you're trying to base it around the public. I mean, the person who owns Sledgehammer, he said that Michael Condrey, that's his name. He said that the reason why the health regen was so messed up is because he wanted the players to feel vulnerable. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm playing pubs, I do not want to feel vulnerable. I want to feel like I can walk out there and slay every noob that there is. But with the health regen, I couldn't do that. I had I was missing 2, 3 kills because of the health
Yeah,
regen.
you get the
It's-
first kill and then
that's
they only have to
streaks.
shoot you once.
Exactly.
Takes forever.
So it's like, I don't want to feel vulnerable while playing pubs. Do whatever you want on campaign. The campaign was amazing. I did feel vulnerable. I felt like I was in World War II for that campaign. It was an amazing campaign, probably the best one I've played in Call of Duty besides Black Ops 1 and 2. So, I mean,
COD 4 best campaign, hands down.
COD 4 was a good campaign, for sure. But,
Hands down.
All right, so,
So-
let's go in this pro league here.
yep, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Let's talk pro
I'm
league.
gonna get a drink real quick.
All right. So
So let's-
Pro League, let's kind of go over the standings really quick for those of you who aren't keeping track of this week's standings for the Pro League. Let's get right into it. Optic Gaming, my favorite team, and I think everybody else is in here, so it's a little biased, but Optic Gaming 3-0 for the start of the week. They beat TK, they beat Era, and they beat
Rise Nation.
Rise Nation. So great
They
job
beat-
by them being the 2-time major champs. So that's good. It's a good start for them.
They beat the 2 and the 3 team ranked in this pro league.
Heck yeah, that's good for them, right? I mean, Formal said that they normally suck for the first 2 tournaments, and the next thing you know, they turn it around, and they definitely did this time because
They're definitely looking like, well, they're not looking the way they looked, but their things are starting to click for them,
sure,
which is what I like to see. I mean, I'm not a huge Optic fan, but I enjoy watching them because like they're the big name. Everybody
sure.
wants to see them fail. I'm one of those guys like these are all generally cool dudes. Like I want to see them succeed. I want to see them win every event. Like things
Sure.
are better. Things are better in Call of Duty when Optic's winning. That's when it's at their best.
for sure.
If you go back and think about it, when Nate Shot and Proofy and Clayster and Scumpy won MLGX games, that was insane. That's when COD was like, holy crap! Like we're getting all these views
Yeah,
because Optic's the big organization in COD, so everybody's like, well, Optic's winning now. We enjoy this.
sure.
Yeah, like all the pressure's on them. Everyone just
Yeah.
wants to see them mess it up. It's the same with TSM
Yeah.
with League.
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
It's like they screw up one thing and all the fans are flipping out and overreacting. It's like relax,
Yeah.
relax.
That's how it is. That's how it is. Like I know you guys don't want to talk sports in this podcast, but that's how it is right now with the Cavs. Like
Yeah.
they're starting to lose games and everybody's freaking out. Like just have faith in who they
They're
have. Like
switching the lineup up and everything. It's like
yeah,
just chill.
they're
It's
trying
not
to
even
make
playoff
it
time
click.
right now.
right.
Like,
They got
some
time to get to where they need to be. That's the same with Optic. They might not win an event all year, but if they win COD champs, that's a win
all
to
that
them. Like
matters
they
is
don't
the
Sure.
playoffs, the finals.
Yep.
If they're not winning right now, that doesn't matter as long as
they don't
getting there.
they don't necessarily. I look at like the tournaments, like these COD tournaments. I look at them
It's
like
practice.
kind of like the NBA. Like it's a stepping stone to try to get to where your goal is. Their goal is to win COD champs. Who cares? Like we saw, who cares if you win every other event and like
Saw that in Black Ops 3 with them. They won like 20 some
Black Ops-
events and like
we go
knocked
Black
out
Ops
eighth.
3. We can go Black Ops 3, and then we can go Advanced Warfare. They won almost every. They were the most dominant team in the game,
Yeah.
and then they didn't win champs, so it didn't matter. Like they're like, well, we won almost every event besides champs, so this doesn't really matter. IW saw they won almost every event and won champs. They put it all together. But like winning champs, like they could lose every event from here on out and then win champs, and that's considered a good year for them.
For sure. So then moving on to the next team that's tied in second with TK is Rise Nation. They had a pretty good week. They beat Vitality 3-0. They beat Mind Freak 3-0 as well. And then they ended up losing 3-1 to Optic. It was the one map that they did win, they won it pretty. It was a close game, so at least they're keeping up with them in that CTF, so that's good. And then moving on to TK, right? Same story here. They ended up getting a 1-3 to Optic. It was the, if I'm not mistaken, and I know I'm not because I watched it while I was sick in bed. It was the CTF that they also lost. It was a close game, really really close. Came down to a couple just small plays. TK kind of looked like they were the old TK in that game. They also beat Era that day, so they played 4, right? Yeah, they played 4, so they beat Era.
Yeah. They played
also on
two
Tuesday.
matches
I don't
on
mean
Tuesday.
I don't mean to interrupt you, John, here, but did you see that 3-piece Krim had against TK and that CTF on?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
that was crazy. That was a
I
good
thought
play.
it was gonna turn around, but it just didn't.
That was a good play.
So
All right, you
then
can go ahead.
TK the second day didn't play because they played twice the day before. Or no, excuse me. I'm wrong. They played Echo Fox 3-2. That was not one of their most convincing wins. Luckily, they were able to pull that one out. It's nice to see TK pulling some stuff together. And then same thing with Red Reserve 3-2. It just doesn't seem like they're as dominant as they used to be. Maybe it's because they don't have the slaying power that Optic has, or like other teams like Rise. Things like that where they're just not able to like pull things together correctly. Sometimes that kind of stuff happens. Right around now, you start seeing teams that just kind of aren't able to pull the kills together. The kind of thing happens. And then Echo Fox, starting off the season so far, 2-1. They're 4th place right now. Not a bad week from them, to be honest with you. Coming 2-1 out of the week, not bad at all.
I think they're slept on right now.
For sure.
They got Saints, Vicente,
Oh, yeah.
Aqua, and Assault, bro. Like, that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
a crazy lineup.
They're-
You got there.
Sure.
It's a good lineup, but I still think they're that one big name player away from you take Assault and you replaced him with Clayster, Echo Fox would be a top 2 team in the
Oh
game.
my God,
You
that's
know what I
not
mean?
even fair.
They're missing like that big name. Even like you take LG, you take Jake Cab of LG and put him on Echo Fox, or you take someone like
take
Apathy or Aches or somebody like that and put them on Echo Fox. They can really help out like the team.
Or Ricky.
Yeah, you take Ricky and put him on Echo Fox. Just that veteran, like been around the game so long, can compete player.
Yeah. For sure. And then Red Reserve going 2-2 for the week. That's also not a bad week for them. I mean, they beat Mind Freak pretty convincingly 3-1. And then after that went to Rise Nation. They lost there 3-2. Kind of going to a map 5 round like 10, I think it was. It was a really close game. And then they also lost to Team Caliber. So 2 of the losses that they had were against like really good teams that were really strong and ended up bringing 3-2 and putting it to that game 5, S&D. So that's another team that I feel like could be slept on a bit. They have a lot of good players. It's it
It's
is,
another thing that they need that big time game player.
but the thing is they are European. So I mean, when I watched the Optic, or I mean not Optic, who was it? They were playing somebody. Regardless, they were playing, and Joe just seems to be like the PPSH god. That man can do anything with that gun. And that goes back to the conversation with he just melts people cross map with that weapon, and it's unbelievable what he can do on the game.
It's absolute dirt.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. He's really good.
I missed the topic when we were talking Rise Nation, but that pickup they added Methods. Methods
Yeah.
might be the best player in the game right
I
now.
missed that.
Methods
Forgot
is
about
the
Methods.
best player in the game right now.
For sure. He is he is definitely extremely strong. And then you have Looney and Hallie, who are more closer to veteran players. You know, they've been playing since I think they've only been big in IW, but still they're really strong in the game. They know what they're doing. And to add Methods, I think this is his first year back. Because
he's just of it. He got of age this year. So.
Exactly. So this is his first year back. He was playing before.
He competed in Ghost, didn't he?
Yeah, but only for one game, and then they stopped it. It was like same thing.
Yeah, because he was on a good team. It was like Methods, Proofy, and like few other players at the beginning of Ghost, and they competed. I think they got top 3, and then they said Methods isn't of age to play in the play in these tournaments. So he basically got booted off his team.
Yeah,
that's kind of shitty.
For sure. I mean, but sometimes that happens. Sometimes you need a player change. And then Era Eternity, nothing really out of the ordinary for them. They're just not. They're not clicking.
Ricky's gonna have a good year.
Yeah, but it's just even though you have Ricky, there's just not. I mean,
they don't have anybody else. They've got new players.
Yeah, it's just nothing out of the ordinary for them. 1-3 for the week. They lost to Echo Fox. We said it was a sleeper team. They got destroyed by Optic. That game, I don't know how they got that one map off of them. And then, it's just one of those things where you kind of look at it and you're like, yeah, not a surprise. And then Mind Freak going 0-3, also not a surprise. Another European team. I think that
I literally know nobody on that team.
Australians.
Yeah, do you know the roster for that team by chance?
Shocks, Fida, Buzzo, and Dens.
I haven't heard of any of those guys.
Buzzo's really good. He can hold his own, but the thing is once again, it's just that one player. You need a full team. It's a team game for a reason. And then moving on, Team Vitality. Once again, not a team that we expected anything out of. Not to be mean,
but yet they haven't won a map yet.
Yeah, they just.
Neither is Mind Freak. Oh, yeah, map. That's right.
Map. They haven't won a
map.
They got one map. 0-9. What do you think there, John? John Funk and Schmitt. We've all been at places where we're just all getting destroyed, and we don't win. We're playing
the best of 3, a change,
and we get 0-2, and we get 0-2 again. So we're thinking, what can we do to at least get the first map?
Yeah.
You got to switch something up. You can't just
keep
going
you gotta you gotta try to change the meta. The meta's set, but you gotta try to do something out of the ordinary to at least win you a map.
So
search and destroy. You focus search and destroy and CTF, you can win series. You can get blown out 250 to the 110 every hard point. But your search and destroy strats are good, and you can play CTF with the best of them. You have a chance to beat these good teams. So if you're Team Vitality, don't worry so much about your hard points. Focus your S&Ds and your CTF, and you can take the series.
Sure.
Or vice versa. Focus on the hard point and don't worry about CTF.
Because they don't have the slaying power to outslay these teams.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay. All right.
But I think
CTF's 50-50. So anybody can beat anybody on CTF. It's kind of like baseball. Anybody can beat anybody. It doesn't matter who's on the field. You know what I mean?
For sure. I think that speaking from experience, we as a team went 5-game lose streak in IW at one point, and we changed some things up, and it was a simple thing of just changing specialist streaks, and we were able to go on a 7-game win streak, I think it was at one point, and we were able to just bring it back, bring ourselves together. We changed a couple little things. I think I started running the ERAD in a couple maps. It was a couple small changes, but they end up being big changes, and that's kind of what they need to do. Same thing with Mind Freak. Just kind of because you don't have the slaying power like Rise, TK, or well, not TK, sorry, Echo, Fox, and Optic. Because TK is the only reason why they're winning, is because they're doing things that teams are not. They're getting small kills that seem like they don't mean anything, but they do. They're huge kills, killing somebody in spawns, and then they hold the 60 seconds because the other team's only able to push like 2 times. I mean, Optic only beat them by like 10 points in the one hard point, the first one, and the only reason why they won is because they had streaks, but still they were being outslayed by 23 kills. And it was 10 seconds, apart. That's unreal. That is unreal. So, that's kind of the CWL overlook right now. Once again, Optics in the lead with the hot 3-0. They are undefeated. They've lost 3 maps and have won 9, so they are 9-3 map count. That's really good by them. I want to talk about next week.
Well, no, hold on. Before you go here, I
Go
want
ahead.
to I know the league just started and whatnot, and we got a few more weeks before it's over, because I was looking here. I think the COD League goes to April 8th. That's the last day, but there's an event in between that, and the rosters are locked. So do you think after April 8th, I wouldn't be shocked to see these players
predict
even,
roster moves.
Yeah,
predict some roster moves.
Even Ricky, I wouldn't be shocked if Ricky goes out and tries to get a Parasite or a Sensor or somebody like that who's still trying to compete, but isn't in the league. They're a great player, but they're not in the league. Like Dashy or Blastful, you know what I mean?
So what the thing with that is you have to make sure your pro points are aligned. I think is how the CWL is doing it. You have to make sure your pro points are in the same region, because then technically your team would technically be out of the pro league. So you have to, if you want to pick up a player at that point, then you're sketching, because you have to tell that player, hey, make sure you're playing your pro point matches every day. We're going to sketch on your team and one player on our team so we can pick you up. You know what I mean? So it's
that
could cause team comp issues.
Which I think is dumb. If 3 of your players are already in the league, I think your team should have a guaranteed league spot. I just think that's dumb.
I agree. I absolutely agree. But that's just how they are setting that up. That's just, there's nothing that you can't really. I think that the pro points are kind of dumb. They're a little out of the ordinary. No other esport does that. It's more land based.
I'm looking here, and I don't see the top teams. They don't really have to earn that many pro points playing their GB matches and stuff like that, because they earn them through winning tournaments.
Right. So the way that League used to do it was they had, correct me if I'm wrong, Nate, but they basically had a tournament for all the lower teams that weren't in what was it, top 5 or something.
Yeah,
they had a tournament for those. Yeah, the relegation tournament, and then the people who placed top 5 in that go on to play the next year. Is that correct?
Yeah,
correct me if I'm
it's
wrong.
a relegation tournament, and the top 5 get to stay in the league, and then the teams that didn't get top 5 have to go down into the Challenger Series, which is the minor leagues for any sport.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, and it's where all the main teams have their academy teams.
Right.
It's
So there's
league.
16 teams in the pro league right now between A and B. But if you wanted to split it, how about you do, top 4 teams in Division A stay, right? Top 4 teams in Division B stay, and then the 8 teams that are there now have to go play a relegation tournament to stay in the league against all these other teams, like Sensor's team, and there's a bunch of other sleeper teams that were
exactly. like they did back in the day. Remember, they might do that, but remember when it was Advanced Warfare, you would have the bottom 4 teams compete with 4 more teams trying to get in. I only remember that because I used to watch Optic Nation and Bose compete every chance they could to try to stay in the league. So you take the bottom 4 teams and you could even You can even do both sides. So the bottom 4 teams in both sides, Pool A and B, can compete against 4 more teams that are trying to get in. So say like Parasite's team, Censor's team. You know what I mean?
Right,
Try to
right.
try to
And to
do
be
it like
honest with
that.
you, the Challenger League would be sweet, right? Because then that's even more Call of Duty that all these fans
Right.
of the CWL can watch. Even though it might not be the best Call of Duty, but still you're still learning. And those other teams that want to get into this, Challenger League, they're watching these teams, and that brings so many more competitive teams together. That brings so many players together, and that are able to mesh and have a chance of playing competitively and making their dreams come true. So, to be honest with you, there's only plus sides to that. The top 4 teams in each division stay, which means basically everybody's favorite team stays, right? I mean, like, if you think about it, 95% of the time, FaZe, Optic, Luminosity, Rise, TK, like, a lot of those teams are probably going to be in the top 4. And if not, I guarantee you they're not going to lose
They're not
relegation.
going to lose. Yeah, they're not going to lose into the Challenger League. I feel you there.
But even then, even if they do lose, they're still in the Challenger League. So all those fans of those teams can still go watch the Challenger League and still watch their favorite team. It's only going to bring you publicity, and it's only going to bring you good things to do that. So to be honest with you, that's one thing that a lot of pro players are complaining about. I know Optic did a podcast where they were talking about how it's different
why do they
every
keep
year.
this Call of Duty point system? Like, what's the advantages of how they're running it now?
See, that's what I don't understand.
That's
why
the
make
issue.
him?
Really
Why make him get pro points? Why not run qualifiers, like LAN qualifiers, and like, so say teams like, you have four LAN qualifiers, so you have the winner obviously gets in. So like, say Optic gets in that, they won't have to compete at the next one. You know what I mean? Because they're already in.
Yeah.
And then you just go from there. You keep eliminating teams. So then you do that. You already have 4 guaranteed, and then you go and do like an online qualifier, stuff like that. So like, you have 4 teams, you can do more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can do it that way, or you can do it however you want. You can do it top 8 teams. Like, you can, like, I don't like the pro point system because you can get on every day, play your GB matches, and then get into the league without becoming top 10 in the tournament.
Exactly, and that's the issue. So the thing with the pro points, I mean, we talked about Censor where his team did cheat. So did he. I mean, okay, they were caught cheating, right?
Well, they weren't caught. He admitted to it.
Exactly. So, but they did catch him. There was no way that he couldn't have admitted it without them coming to them and saying, them coming to him and saying, "Hey, we suspect you of cheating." In which, if you watch his video, he does say that they did have suspect and reasonable doubt that they were cheating, and they did do a proper process to evaluate that. But with that said, they also did grind to get themselves try to get back into the pro league, even though they weren't placing high enough, which is stupid. EG wasn't caught cheating, but are suspect to a lot of people in the community, and I'm extremely in the middle of it because I'm not trying to start an argument, but EG was suspect to people saying that they did also cheat, and that's the issue with the pro point system, is that it's easy for them to cheat. So why keep it there if you're seeing teams cheat? And also, with that said, there shouldn't be teams cheating, right? You have respect for MLG.
Right.
If you have respect for MLG and you have respect for the game and respect to the community, why are you cheating? In my opinion, then you should lose respect out of MLG. But all those teams should have been, knocked out and been done with, that kind of thing. But they weren't. So not too much of a comment on that.
Or
but
do it like
that's
this.
the issue.
How many teams are in the league? You said 16.
16. That's correct. 8 in both divisions.
Okay, then so be it. If you're a good team and you think you deserve to be in the league, play one big tournament. Top 6 teams get in. Like,
That's how it used to be. That's how it was in BO3, if I'm not mistaken.
If you think your team is that good, you deserve to be in the league, then prove it. Go get top 16, get in the league.
I thought that's how it was in BO3 when they had the original. It wasn't a LAN league at the time. It was just the online league.
Yeah, but still, like, go get top 16. Make it known you're one of the 16 best teams in the game. Don't complain about it through pro points. Play play tournament. Top 16 teams that get 16 and above get in. Everybody else, sorry, better luck next time.
I agree. So
Then you have teams that are placing like top 12 that are going to get in that deserve to be in the league, but placed top 12 because they played with a pickup team and didn't get in the league.
for sure. So I think we're kind of
Yeah, we're at the 55-minute
towards-
mark.
yeah. So let's start working towards the NALCS. Try to obviously a lot of us don't know too much about NALCS, but with that said, we are going to talk about it because I watch it a lot, and so does Nate, and he knows a lot about it. So we're going to move into that, and then we'll move into our predictions at the end of the podcast to talk about that. So quick overview for those of you who do not know and are not paying attention to the standings right now. Echo Fox is 3-0 as of today. Today is Sunday that we are recording this. We are going to start recording on Mondays, but because this is our first installment, we wanted to make sure that we had everything together. So right now they are 3-0, and as well as 100 Thieves are also 3-0. With Nate Shot, former Call of Duty player. I'm glad to see that he's doing an amazing job over there. And then C9's 2-1, Clutch Gaming's 2-1, Team Liquid also 2-1. There's a lot of people in third place right now. FlyQuest also 2-1, and then TSM,
Honestly,
a team
though,
that's
It
Go ahead.
surprises me that Echo Fox is 3-0. Like 100
To be
Thieves,
hon-
I can understand. They have a power
Yeah.
roster.
well. After watching the game yesterday, it was a convincing win, very very convincing. So that's whatever. FlyQuest 2-1. Another team that's one of the newer teams, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
FlyQuest, they've been around.
So it's
are-
Clutch Gaming. Clutch
Clutch
Gaming.
Gaming, yeah.
Yeah, that's who it was. My bad.
They're actually
And then
sponsored by the
TSM.
Houston Rockets.
Yep, that's correct. So TSM 1-2. Shocker, Nate? You shocked? Because I know that's your team.
They'll
So
pull
let's
it
hear
back
it.
together. They'll pull it back
Yeah, you
together.
think?
I believe. They always have a bad
Okay.
start and everything.
Yeah, and it's
Just
hard that
there's
it's
It's
a
so
lot
true,
of-
honestly.
There's all the rosters. They have so many more teams and so much talent that got imported from Europe and Korea.
yeah,
That there's so many good teams now, and I just feel like NA as a whole region is gonna get really strong this year.
for sure.
Like 100 Thieves'
Uh,
whole roster is probably like the most talent out of everyone in the whole league, besides like maybe TSM and like Cloud9.
Yeah, and Cloud9's 2-1. So I mean, it's saying something right now. It
I'm
just
just
shows
super
that
surprised.
all
I think
teams can win.
most of Echo Fox's like they're 3-0 just because of the meta. That's what I think. This
Oh,
meta's
so you're saying they're
super
2-1?
early game.
Oh,
You get ahead early game, if you don't throw it away, you're basically winning. And Dardoch's known to be really good on early game jungles. Huni came from SKT. He's a really good top lane. Their bot lane's probably top 3 bot lane in the league. All tech and
Yeah.
Adrian. And Phoenix is just a solid mid laner. Like, he can hold his own.
for sure. So moving on to the bottom three, they're all tied for 8th place.
CLG, that's surprising.
CLG's
That's
0-3.
really surprising.
I agree with Nate. Completely surprising. They've normally been up there.
But it's also their
Optic
own
Gaming,
fault.
yes.
They
True.
threw away Afromu. Their
Yeah.
shot caller and captain for
Who is
Biofrost
on
and
100
TSM
Thieves,
support.
which is ironic.
It was really weird.
Yeah,
They would want Biofrost.
I think that's because he was on TSM. Maybe they just wanted the championship player. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know the whole ins and outs of that one. And then moving on, Optic.
Optic Gaming.
Kind of conflicted because I've liked TSM for LOL, but I've been an Optic fan since forever. So it's kind of it's a hard one. Optic 0-3. Watching them, it's like they have a good start to games. Their the
They have a
beginning part of
decent
games is really
roster.
good.
I mean,
do.
Arrow's the MVP last
Shocking.
split.
Exactly.
They have the good, like the main roles, like mid and AD carry. They have solid
Yep.
players on, but the rest they don't. They're just like average players.
Yeah.
Lemon Nation, Zig, and Acadian.
It just seems like their late game struggling. That's all. They're losing these late game team fights that are really causing them to lose the games. They're losing Baron fights. things like that, where it's just they're kind of struggling in that essence. And then Golden Guardians, thank God they're 0-3 for us. We're all Cleveland fans here, so
100
see
teams.
the Golden State Warriors team at the bottom and the Cavs all the way up at the top. It's great to see,
Honestly,
right?
whoever was
So
running the Golden Guardians, like esports franchise, has no clue what they're doing. Their
really,
pickups, yeah, their pickups are trash.
so
They
you
have
think
no
they just
star
rushed
player.
into it?
They have no star player.
Do
It's
you
just
think
a
they
bunch of average players.
do you think they heard that Cavs were making a team and they were like, oh well, let's continue this rivalry on to the next
I
game,
don't know
right?
if it was that, like, oh, let's just do it. But I just think I don't know if they have the right people doing it. I don't even know who
Gotcha.
is running it.
Yeah,
I
I
know
don't
that their
either.
coach is an old TSM coach, Loco Doco, but
Mhm.
that was like 2-3 years ago.
Gotcha.
They just have
So
weird pickups. They don't have a star.
yeah,
It's just like
it's
average
just
players.
hard.
They're all
I
gonna lose
mean,
lane.
I think I speak
Getting
for all of
hurt.
us. It is nice to see 100 Thieves up there. Old Optic player. It is nice to see those guys, succeeding and
I'm
Nate
fine
shot
with the 100 Thieves
specifically.
getting up there, man. Their roster's insane. Like they're gonna be up
Yeah,
there. There's no way.
like you said, Afro Moo. I don't know why CLG got rid of him.
Yeah, he was
He's
a shot
unbelievable.
caller and he had a voice. Like
Speaking
Bauhaus was
of
a quiet guy.
Yeah.
speaking of 100 Thieves, that new house they got
Oh
is
my god.
insane.
Is it like
It's
a
unreal.
mansion?
It is
Like their
unreal.
They have a new
team
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, you didn't know? Yeah, they got
Yeah,
they
it's
got a
like
brand
the
new
Rocket.
house.
It's the Rocket Mortgage team house. Like they
Yep.
have like a whole like area for like sleeping and like away from work, but then they have this whole area where they can game. And like after their game, they have a couch TV where they can just set up, and their coach can like instruct them and see where the
That's
plays
sick.
went wrong.
They have a cook. Like they have somebody who comes
Yeah.
there and cooks every
Oh
day
my
for them.
god, dude.
Yeah,
What?
I'm
That's a
telling you, dude.
business, baby.
Nate Shot and the owner of the Cavs, who is Dan Gilbert, they did wonders with that team, right?
But
Like that.
speaking of
What?
Dan Gilbert, he's trying to sell the Cavs.
Yeah.
What? Never
Yeah.
knew. Never knew. Wasn't paying attention.
But just
Bringing
think
it
about
back
it, John.
though.
100 Thieves roster. Someday, one of
Yeah.
the best top laners in Korea comes to NA. He's an import.
Yep.
He's insane. Medios, a
Oh,
veteran
Clutch
jungler.
Gaming's run by the Houston Rockets.
Yeah. Medios, a veteran jungler on C9, and won like 5 splits with them. He's on
Yep.
their team. Ryu, fucking solid ass mid laner, can almost beat Bjergsen. And then their bot lane's just solid as hell. Afromu, the vet. They're just all veterans. They've all been around the game.
So what do you?
Wait, so who's the
Conversation.
Cleveland Cavaliers team?
100 Thieves.
100 Thieves.
Oh, that's the Cavs
Nate,
team?
Yeah, Nate Shaw
Dan
went in
Gilbert
with
invested
Dan
in them.
Gilbert.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Which is
Gotcha.
funny because I listened to Sports Talk and they were actually talking about 100 Thieves. It was pretty cool. But
Their
So-
yeah,
roster's insane.
So this means esports is making it big because
It is.
Yeah.
now that you're getting pro sports teams to invest into
Absolutely.
esports.
The
Esports
two
is becoming an all-time
And
high.
it's the 2 biggest NBA teams. It's not like it's a random one. So well,
the
3.
two
Houston
Right.
most
Rockets.
recent championship. Yeah,
Rockets
Houston
are there
Rockets
too.
are so
Right.
big.
Gaming.
So like even you go back like I don't mean to like jump back to COD, but like Rise Nation is owned by like an NFL player.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like he's
No
part
way.
owner of that team.
Well, you know, Echo Fox is owned by an NBA player.
Yeah, like
Fox.
that's crazy.
Oh yeah,
That's
Rick
nuts.
Fox.
Yeah, Rick
It's
Fox.
crazy. It's crazy that
He has teams everywhere.
these real life sports like we watch all the time. Owners are
10 years
investing
ago,
into
video
esports
gaming
where
was a
we
joke.
yeah,
Yeah.
video games on the come up like because
Sure.
if you talk to your parents they probably don't like support like gaming because they don't know like the background, but if
They
you
don't
show them a
understand it.
video, you show them a video of like where everybody started and where they can get to if you work hard enough at it and like all the people that support it, that you'll change their whole outlook. It's crazy.
Sure. Yeah, it's honestly unreal. I mean, I know for a fact Houston Rockets, their team is owned by the Houston mayor, and obviously Optic Hex. So they went in together. That's unreal, right? I mean, Dallas itself, or not Dallas, excuse me. Texas itself is a big video game state, which is pretty cool. But kind of bringing it back to the 100 Thieves, it's nice to, they're at that 3-0. Next week, it looks like they are playing Clutch Gaming, which is another NBA rival, and then they play TSM. So, they have a couple big games coming up that are going to be extremely crucial. I think if they beat 100 Thieves, or I mean TSM, excuse me, if 100 Thieves beats TSM, there's no doubt in my mind that they're taking it all the way this year.
Yeah,
For
100
sure.
Thieves is insane. I don't even get how they got that roster. Like,
I don't either.
it's actually broken.
So I know we kept the NALCS kind of short. I'm sorry about that, Nate. I know that's kind of your forte, but we did extend our CWL conversation, and we're kind of working on
Yeah.
that hour and 20-minute mark here.
We're
So
at an hour and 5 right now.
yeah, so I'm gonna start off by saying thank you guys for watching. But first things first, we're gonna do predictions for the next week. Call of Duty is a little bit different than CWL, just due to the fact that they haven't released who's playing in each match. So we're gonna do it for a 3-game standpoint, even though last week there were teams that did play 4 games. Uh, so we're just gonna keep it 3 games, and if they play the 4th one for some teams, we're just gonna eliminate it. We're gonna do this every single week, where we gather in all the information and that kind of thing. I kind of want to um,
Keep a
incorporate this
scoreboard.
every week.
We
Yeah,
can
keep a little
with
scoreboard,
each other.
put it up. So for every
We're
week
gonna
now,
do
we'll
that.
kind of have like a little For every week now, we'll just kind of keep a scoreboard up. Make sure
Eventually,
you write that down so we can edit it in.
eventually we can get like map counts to like extent, but like today we're
Yeah.
just gonna do like record, right?
Yeah, right. So for the week record of a team map counts, we can probably bring in, just for extra points, we'll do we'll do that as like a 2-point bonus, and then the first team to like 50 is the winner, or first team at the end of the season, right? For both, CWL Pro League and the NALCS. So we're gonna start off with the CWL Pro League. So I'll start. First team is Luminosity. Their team looks really, really strong. They have JCap, John, Octane, and Slacked. But at the same time, looking at that, there is E United, FaZe, Envy, Splice. So I think that there's a good chance that they can.
Don't
There
forget
might
about
be
EG.
I don't think I'll get
Aches,
there.
Apathy, Enable, and Nameless. What do you mean?
Yeah, they just haven't been strong, man. They haven't been
But
strong.
just wait on it, bro. Trust.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sleeping on them a bit.
Trust.
But hey, when you get to EG, you can call it for it. So for Luminosity, I'm gonna go 2-1 for the week. So that's me. We'll move on to Nate Wolfe. What do you think for Luminosity?
I see them going 2-1 as well.
All right. So we got 2-2-1s. How about you, Funk?
I'm gonna say 2-1. Yeah.
2-1. All right.
Fuck it, man.
And
3-0, baby. 3-0.
3-0.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. All right.
Wow.
It all comes down to like I wish we got who played who, because if we got that
Yeah,
released
that would
early,
be easier.
I would make a solid
sure.
prediction off of
That
that.
would be nice, but we don't have that. So
but we
we're
could
gonna
get we
move
could
on.
we could get screwed and they could play like EG, Epsilon, and
Unilad. Yeah.
Unilad. They could play
That's
those
a
3 teams and go
3-0.
3-0 easy.
For
Or they
sure.
could get a FaZe kind where they could struggle
FaZe-
and then beat.
FaZe
They could get
Team
FaZe,
Envy.
E United, and Envy go 0-3. You
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. So, but hey, I mean that's part of the game, right? So E United now.
Hold on.
We're on E United. This one's a hard one for me because E United's team is
Arcities is actually a god.
They're
They-
good.
they are good. They are a good team, but I'm saving my
Clayster,
3-0s.
Pristini, and Silly. What do you mean?
I'm saving my 3-0s, and you'll see why because we do.
I
have
know where you're gonna put your 3-0 at, John. I know where you're putting it.
So, yeah, do you know where I'm putting that?
Yeah, you're
Well-
putting it.
For this one, I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna give them also a 2-1, because I have a feeling they could get beat by one team, and that's coming up next. So
I'm gonna say I like them and all. I'm gonna go 1-2 for E United.
okay,
Depending on who they play, I'm gonna go 1-2 because I feel strongly about 3 teams in this side.
okay.
Yeah,
So how
I think
about
I'm gonna
you?
go 1-2.
1-2.
Yeah, 1-2.
2-1.
Feeling 1-2.
All right. So that's that. Moving on now to FaZe Clan. This is the team that I think could pull off a 3-0 this week, but I also have one other team that I think could pull off a 3-0. So with that said, I have a feeling that FaZe could lose to E United pretty quickly, and I know for a fact if they play Splice, they are taking that L. So I'm gonna go 1-2 this week for them.
I'm right with you. I think 1 and 2 as well.
2
How
and
about you?
1.
Okay,
2-1.
that's a good one.
You believe in FaZe?
Trust.
Trust?
Just watch.
I'm gonna go 1 and 2.
All right. So that's that. So we got a couple 1-2s there. Okay, now Team Envy. This is pretty easy for me, I think. I just don't. I mean, Hook is an amazing player, but this one's an easy one for me. I'm gonna go 0-3. No, take that back. I'm gonna go 1-2. 1-2.
I think they might get the benefit of the doubt. I'm going 2 and 1 on Envy.
Okay.
1 and 2, baby. 1 and 2.
Okay.
1 and 2.
1-2. All right. Now on to EG. I think this one might be one across the board for unless Funk wants to give them the 3-0, but I'm gonna go 0-3 for EG.
I'm going 1 and 2 for EG. I think they're gonna get like an Epsilon or a Unilad matchup where they're gonna get the win. But I think they don't stand a chance against FaZe, United, or Luminosity.
Yeah. Okay, so Funk. I want to hear this. What are you going for, EG? I want to hear this.
1 and 2. 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
This
1 and
week.
2. Okay.
For this week.
Okay. How about you, Nate?
I'll give them 1 and 2.
All right.
This
Now,
is what, bro.
moving
Watch
on.
mid season, bro. They're gonna fucking win every game.
Oh man. Well, I'm
Every
gonna
game.
hold you to that prediction.
Oh, please don't.
You lose 20 points. Fail.
no, please don't.
No. And then moving on to Splice. This is my sleeper team. I'm going 3-0 for the week. Former
I've got-
CWL champs. One
I've got Splice
season.
going 3 and 0. They
Yep.
haven't placed outside of top 4 all year. I got Splice going
Absolutely.
3-0.
Anybody else?
3-0,
Who's
baby.
got it? Yo. Oh. How about you, Funk?
Oh, yeah, probably 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then Unilad. This one's an easy one for me. 0-3. I just don't see them. They,
Oh, and
Yeah.
0 and 3, baby. Across the board, 0 and 3.
yeah.
3-0. 3-0.
No. No.
Get out of here. And then Epsilon. I feel like Epsilon could take some maps in this game. I know they are in the 8th seed. With that said, if they play like a Unilad or or an Envy, I think that their S&Ds are going to be too strong for these NA teams, and of course the APAC team Unilad. So I'm going to actually have to go 2 and 1 on that one.
I'm gonna go 1 and 2.
I'll give them a 2 and 1.
Okay.
I'll
I
go
don't think
1
I'm
and 2.
giving out enough wins to make up for
Yeah.
all the losses I gave.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how I
same,
feel.
probably.
All right. Well, that ends CWL. We are moving on to the League of Legends portion now. And this one, this is a lot more
This is
straight up.
This is rough.
Get everything.
Echo
So-
Fox against TSM.
Yeah, well, they
Uh,
also play CLG, right? We're talking about week 3, so we're not doing
No, we're
week
on
2. We're not
we're
doing
on
week
week
2.
It's
Yeah,
second
'cause-
half.
Have they
two games
started?
Today's.
Have they,
No.
okay, no, they
Starts
haven't
at
started.
5.
We'll do it. So we'll do.
Not
we'll
today, yeah.
do Sunday, which is today, and then next week Saturday, Sunday. So moving into that, we're
Echo
gonna
Fox,
call-
100%.
For this one, for this one, we're not gonna call records because we have the matches right in front of us. So we're gonna do Echo Fox versus TSM. Who's got it?
Echo
Echo
Fox.
Fox.
I'm sorry.
As painful as
sorry,
that-
bro.
Yeah, as painful
I'm
as
going-
it is.
I'm going TSM.
Oh,
He
whoa!
like-
believes. I should
One-
believe. I'm not a true fan.
Same.
I'm not a true fan, dude.
I'm going TSM here.
All right, and then next one on the board,
100 Thieves.
C9 versus 100
Thieves.
Thieves.
100 Thieves.
100 Thieves, bro.
100 Thieves. 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves for
Thieves are
sure.
just gonna sweep the floor.
Easy.
Optic Gaming versus FlyQuest.
Oh,
Once again,
that's gonna be hard because they're both shit.
yeah.
I'm going Optic. Put faith
Yeah, I'll
in
go
OG
Optic
here.
just for the
Optic
Call of
Gaming.
Duty rep.
Optic Gaming.
Glad
Even
you
though
guys.
FlyQuest Loki has kind of a small edge, but I'll give it. To
Yeah, I don't know.
FlyQuest is 1 and 2, and Optic is 0 and 3. So it's like, shit.
I'll go
Yeah, but
Optic.
Optic has played
I'll
You
go
gotta
good
Optic.
believe,
teams.
dude.
Okay,
I'll go
so
Optic.
I literally just pulled up a coin flipper for that
Oh
one.
my god, John.
It landed on
Wait, no,
Tails.
shit. FlyQuest is actually 2 and 1. I lied.
Yeah,
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Oh,
Never
they're
mind.
better than TSM now.
FlyQuest is gonna win.
Optic.
Jake,
I'm staying.
I'm staying Optic
sticking.
though.
I'm staying Optic. I got faith
I got
here.
a rep.
I
No, not a
pulled up a
chance, bro.
coin flipper on Google and it landed on Tails, which was FlyQuest for me, so I'm gonna have to go with FlyQuest.
Alright.
I see how it
And
is.
then moving on, the Golden Guardians versus Counter
They're
Logic
both 0
Gaming.
and 3.
Both 0
CLG
and
has a new support. Golden Guardians is a whole new team.
Yeah.
I
I'm
want
gonna go
CLG to get their
CLG.
first win, so I believe in CLG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
C-
CLG.
So that's across the board CLG, and then Team Liquid versus
Oh,
Clutch.
that's gonna be a good game. They're both
That's
2
a
and
good
1.
game.
Double
Yeah,
Lift
that-
is on Team Liquid now.
Double lifts on
Yeah,
Liquid?
he's on Liquid now.
What?
They let him
Um,
go. They let him go for European bot lane, like the All-Star.
I'm gonna
European
go
bot lane,
Liquid.
TSM.
I'm gonna
That's
go
not-
Liquid on this. I
Was
think
it
Liquid-
worth?
I mean, TSM's 1 and 2, so not yet.
Yeah, really. I'm gonna
That's
go
gonna be a
Liquid.
tough game. It could go either way.
I'm going
I
Liquid
believe in
for
Double
sure.
God though, so I'm gonna go Liquid.
Double
Liquid.
God.
Liquid for sure.
Unk.
Bro, double lifts on Liquid. Are you joking?
Okay.
Liquid 100%. Double lifts a god.
Liquid all across the board. Moving on to week 3. This is a brand new week. Here we
Oh,
go. We're gonna start off with day 1. Counter
Echo
Logic
Fox.
Gaming
Echo
versus
Fox.
Echo
Echo
Fox.
Fox.
That's
Fox. I go
Go Fox.
Fox.
Echo Fox.
Echo Fox.
so Echo Fox across the board
Rick
on that
Fox
one.
is fatty.
Cloud9 versus OG. Once again, another coin.
C9.
That's C9.
C9.
OG.
OG. I went OG,
Bro.
but coin flip.
Bro,
never-
that's
That's
too much
C9, bro.
believing in.
That's too much believing, bro.
coin, no,
Right.
I'm believing in the
C9
coin
only
flip.
got a new jungler. They got Spence Garen from TSM.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fitzgerald?
Yeah.
Bro,
we
C9,
got,
bro.
we got-
Why are you guys betting against that?
yeah.
I'm gonna put my money on the board and go for optics and the chow.
You're dumb.
So,
Well,
You're
you would have
dumb.
sent the chow for the last one. Okay, the last one was, more in Optic's
flash-
favor.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, we got Clutch
Well,
Gaming and 100
I have-
Thieves. That's gonna be a
Yep.
good ass game.
That will be a
I'm
I'm
good.
gonna
Thieves.
believe in
game.
the powerhouse though, 100 Thieves.
Yeah, for
100
sure.
Thieves.
100 Thieves.
100 Thieves.
There's another 4.
No
100
question
Thieves.
about it.
Now
we won't
on
get. We're just like 100
FlyQuest versus TL Team Liquid.
TL.
Wow, that's a hard one.
Actually, no, double lift's a
Change
god,
it.
bro. Team
Just change
Liquid.
it.
Nope, double lift's a
Shit.
god.
I'm in between on this one, but I'm not gonna use my coin flip this time.
Wild
actually
Turtles
just-
on FlyQuest.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Fly
That's
Quest,
why.
I think.
That's why I'm like
FlyQuest.
partial to both. I'm gonna go Team Liquid
We got
because
some
um,
top
FlyQuest.
players, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So that's a TL for
I
me.
think I'm gonna go
So
TL though.
everybody
I'm
voted on
still
that
believing
one?
in Double God.
No, I'm going FlyQuest here.
Going FlyQuest and Funk. Would you
sure.
go?
TL.
TL. Okay, so we got 3 TLs and 1 FlyQuest. Moving on to TSM versus Golden Knights. That's an easy one for me. TSM.
Yeah,
Guardians.
TSM.
TSM. I think
Golden
TSM's gonna bring
Guardians.
it back.
Golden Guardians. My bad. I keep saying Golden Knights, but so TSM across the board.
Hockey.
No, I know.
Hockey.
Sorry.
Johnny Canadian.
Eh?
Oh my god.
God dang. All right, moving on.
Oh, darn it.
Gosh darn.
Oh, Echo Fox,
Echo
100%.
Fox, stop the
Echo
game.
Fox.
Echo
Echo
Fox.
Fox, bro.
Echo Fox for sure. That's a Echo Fox across the board.
Oh,
Now.
believe in optic.
Now,
Echo.
on TSM versus 100 Thieves.
Oh
This,
no,
this is
Oh.
where
dude!
You
TSM's testing my faith again. I didn't vote for them
that's
before.
the-
You
that's
know, it's week 3. They got more games under their belt. TSM.
Yeah, I'm going TSM as
Underdog.
well.
Underdog. Let's see.
TSM as well.
100 Thieves, Afro Moo, for sure.
I'm gonna believe in the
100
underdogs.
Thieves. 100 Thieves is a fucking packed ass team.
Yeah,
What
they
do you
are.
mean?
I mean,
They got all
Pearson
the
versus,
Asians.
right? I mean, I'm
Two.
just saying.
TSM.
Okay, all right.
All
Golden
right.
Guardians versus Team Liquid. Team Liquid. That's
TL.
an easy one.
TL.
TL.
Yeah.
Is Double Lift still on Team Liquid?
Yeah, TL.
Then
No, stop the
No, we
change.
just got word.
he is
not
down
playing
first-
anymore.
Guardians.
And then Clutch Gaming versus C9. Any predictions
C9.
on that one?
Clutch.
That one's gonna be close.
C9.
another-
I'm pulling for
Another
clutch.
flipper. That's another flipper.
Oh my
C9,
god,
baby.
that's, you're such a cheater, John.
Let's go with Tails, so I'm gonna go C9 for sure. Why is it Tails every time? What the heck?
Yeah, I'm gonna believe in clutch.
All right.
I'll give it
Right.
to clutch.
One was kind of split. So final match of the next week, CLG versus FlyQuest. Who's got it?
CLG needs to get back in the standings, so I'm gonna give
Yeah.
it to CLG. I believe.
All right.
CLG.
Black
They have a
Counter
bad
Logic
start, but they
Gaming.
got it.
Counter
Like
Logic
West.
Gaming. They got logic in their name.
I'm gonna go
Counter
in with
Logic
Funk.
Gaming.
I'm gonna go with Funk. I'm gonna go FlyQuest. So that's
Yeah,
another
I'm gonna say FlyQuest.
good. So, guys, thank you guys for so much for tuning in to the podcast. It was a great time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, leave a like, comment if you want us to talk about any more esports. I know today we only got into like the CWL Pro League, the NALCS, just a small bit. Next week we're gonna try to manage our time a lot better. This is the first installment. So, with that said, anybody else want to say anything while we sign out?
Crisscross applesauce.
Some 100 Thieves, top 2. They're gonna at the end of the split. They're gonna be top 2.
Not
believe.
first.
Saying it now. Saying it now.
All right, Nate.
Deuces.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is I almost did my outro for my YouTube, but this is the Esports
Let's plug
podcast. We're signing out.
it. Plug your YouTube. Plug your YouTube.
It'll be in the description.
Plug your YouTube.
You guys later.
Follow me on Twitter at Nathan_Wolf2.
Oh no.